Welcome back to our channel Ultra Rare Coins History. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. We dive deep into the remarkable journey of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II Pence 1999 coin, a coin born in an age of transition, shaped by history, and transformed by rarity into one of the most searched and talked about modern British coins in the world. Picture the United Kingdom in 1999. The country stood at the edge of a new millennium, filled with anticipation, uncertainty, and excitement. Tony Blair's government was shaping a modern Britain, technology was accelerating at an unprecedented pace, and the nation was preparing to leave behind the 20th century forever. It was in this atmosphere that the Royal Mint continued its centuries-old duty of producing coins for everyday use, including the humble 2p piece. No grand ceremony marked its release, no headlines celebrated its arrival, and yet this coin quietly entered circulation carrying the weight of history and the promise of an unexpected future. The 2p coin had already earned a special place in British pockets. Introduced in 1971 during the Great Decimalisation of UK currency, it symbolized modernization and simplicity. By 1999, the design was familiar, almost invisible to the average citizen, which is often how the most fascinating collectibles begin their lives. The Elizabeth II 2p 1999 coin featured Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, her portrait representing continuity, stability, and a reign that had already spanned nearly half a century. This was not just a likeness of a monarch, it was a living connection to a queen who had witnessed wars, cultural revolutions, and dramatic changes in British society. The portrait used in 1999 was the fourth definitive effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. Collectors often describe this portrait as dignified and realistic, showing the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The detail is striking, especially when viewed under magnification. Fine lines around the face, the careful rendering of the tiara, and the calm expression all reflect the maturity of the Queen at the time. Around the portrait runs the Latin inscription naming Elizabeth II as Queen and Defender of the Faith, a tradition rooted deep in British numismatic history. For collectors watching today on Ultra Rare Coins History, this portrait alone makes the 1999 2p coin a fascinating snapshot of a specific moment in the Queen's long reign. Turn the coin over, and the reverse tells a story just as compelling. The familiar design of the Prince of Wales feathers dominates the center, crowned and encircled by a coronet, with the words TWOPENCE above and the date 1999 below. Designed by Christopher Ironside, this reverse had been part of the 2p identity since decimalisation. Yet, despite its familiarity, the design carries deep symbolism. The feathers represent the heir to the throne, continuity of monarchy, and the connection between the present and the future. In 1999, with Prince Charles waiting in the wings and the Queen still firmly on the throne, this symbolism felt especially powerful. The coin itself was struck in copper-plated steel, a change that had occurred earlier in the 1990s to reduce production costs. This composition gave the coin a magnetic core while maintaining the warm copper appearance that the public associated with low-denomination British coins. The weight, diameter, and thickness were standardized, making the 2p coin instantly recognizable by touch alone. For most people, it was simply a tool for transactions, dropped into tip jars, forgotten in car consoles, or lost beneath sofa cushions. Very few could have imagined that this ordinary object would one day be valued beyond comprehension. Minting details often hold the key to a coin's destiny, and the Elizabeth II 2p 1999 coin is no exception. The Royal Mint produced millions of 2p coins that year to meet the demands of circulation. However, within these vast numbers, subtle variations, minting anomalies, and condition rarity began to emerge over time. Coins struck with exceptional sharpness, perfect alignment, and flawless surfaces were far rarer than their mass-produced counterparts. Even more intriguing were the error coins, pieces that slipped through quality control carrying mistakes that transformed them into legends among collectors. Some 1999 2p coins were reported with striking errors, including off-center strikes, double dies, misaligned reverses, and unusual plating flaws. While many of these errors were small, almost invisible to the untrained eye, they dramatically increased collector interest. In the world of numismatics, rarity is not always about how many coins were made, but how many survive in exceptional or unusual states. As years passed, collectors began to realize that pristine examples of the 1999 to pence coin were far scarcer than expected, especially those preserved straight from mint sets or rescued from circulation before wear could take its toll. Collector appeal for this coin grew quietly at first. In the early 2000s, few people paid attention to modern to pence pieces. The spotlight was on older Victorian pennies or medieval hammered coins. But as new generations of collectors entered the hobby, interest shifted toward modern issues with hidden stories. The approach of the Queen's Golden Jubilee in 2002 and later her Platinum Jubilee reignited fascination with her coinage. Suddenly, coins from the late 1990s were no longer too modern to matter. They were becoming historical artifacts in their own right. Online marketplaces and social media played a crucial role in transforming the Elizabeth II pence 1999 coin into a global talking point. Stories began circulating of rare to pence coins selling for astonishing sums. Videos, blog posts, and forum discussions speculated about hidden treasures in everyday change. Searches for rare 1999 to pence coin exploded, driven by curiosity and hope. On ultra-rare coins history, we've seen this pattern time and again. An ordinary coin becomes extraordinary when the right combination of rarity, condition, and storytelling captures the public imagination. The emotional appeal of the 1999 to pence coin is just as important as its physical characteristics. It represents the final years of the 20th century, a time many people remember vividly. Holding this coin can feel like holding a fragment of personal history, a reminder of school days, first jobs, or childhood trips to the corner shop. When collectors connect emotionally with a coin, its value transcends metal and mintages. It becomes a symbol, a memory, and a conversation piece. Professional grading further elevated the status of the Elizabeth II pence 1999 coin. Coins certified in top conditions by respected grading services began to command serious attention. A 2 pence coin graded at the highest levels, showing no signs of wear and possessing perfect luster, is extraordinarily rare. When combined with verified minting errors or unique characteristics, such coins enter an entirely different league. They are no longer pocket change, they are museum-quality artifacts. Auction houses began to notice. What started as niche interest grew into competitive bidding wars among high-end collectors. Each record-breaking sale added fuel to the legend. The idea that a 2 pence coin could be worth more than luxury cars, houses, or even private islands seemed unbelievable, yet documented sales and private transactions suggested otherwise. The story of the 1999 to pence coin became a modern numismatic fairy tale, and ultra-rare coins history has followed every twist with fascination. Of course, skepticism has always accompanied such dramatic valuations. Critics argue that claims of astronomical prices are exaggerated or based on extreme outliers. Yet in the world of elite collecting, value is determined not only by metal content or face value but by desire, scarcity, and prestige. When a small number of collectors with vast resources compete for a single, irreplaceable item, prices can soar beyond conventional logic. The Elizabeth II pence 1999 coin, in its rarest and most perfect form, sits firmly in this realm. Top 2. We uncover one such story: the remarkable journey of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II pence coin from the year 2002. The year 2002 was a deeply significant moment in British history. It marked the Golden Jubilee of Queen Elizabeth II, celebrating 50 years of her reign. Britain was reflecting on decades of change, from post-war recovery to the digital age, and the monarchy stood as a symbol of continuity through it all. Coinage issued during this time was more than currency, it was a historical record struck in metal. Among these coins was the 2 pence piece, a denomination often overlooked yet destined to become one of the most fascinating modern-era collectibles. At first glance, the 2002 2 pence coin appears familiar. It carries the unmistakable presence of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, her portrait reflecting dignity, stability, and timeless authority. The effigy used during this period was created by Ian Rank Broadley, and many collectors consider it one of the most refined representations of the Queen ever placed on British coinage. Her expression is calm and composed, with intricate details in the hair, crown, and facial features that demonstrate the royal mint's technical mastery at the turn of the millennium. Surrounding the Queen's portrait is a precise inscription identifying her title and authority, a tradition that stretches back centuries. This continuity links the 2002 pence coin not only to modern Britain but to a long lineage of monarchs whose images have graced the nation's money. Every letter, every curve, and every line was engraved with purpose, making the obverse side a quiet yet powerful symbol of national identity. Turning the coin over reveals a design that would soon become iconic. The reverse features the Prince of Wales feathers, a symbol associated with the heir to the throne and deeply rooted in British heraldry. This design, introduced decades earlier, remained in use through 2008, just before the dramatic redesign of UK coinage. In hindsight, the 2002 issue stands near the end of an era, representing one of the last chapters before British coins adopted a completely new visual identity. The feather's design carries layers of meaning. It speaks of tradition, monarchy, and continuity, but also of transition. By 2002, Britain was on the brink of change in many ways, and this coin captures that moment perfectly. It exists at the crossroads between old and new, between classic coinage and modern redesign. That historical positioning alone gives the 2002 pence coin a special place in numismatic history. The coin itself was struck in copper-plated steel, a material choice that reflected both economic efficiency and durability. Measuring just over 25 millimeters in diameter and weighing a little over 7 grams, it was designed for daily use. Millions of these coins entered circulation, jingling in pockets, sliding across shop counters, and traveling across the country without anyone suspecting that a few rare examples among them would one day become legendary. What truly elevates the 2002 pence coin from common currency to ultra-rare treasure lies not in the standard issues but in the extraordinary anomalies and minting irregularities that occur during production. The Royal Mint operates with incredible precision, yet even the most advanced systems can produce rare mistakes. In the world of coin collecting, these errors are not flaws, they are miracles. Some 2002 pence coins were struck with alignment irregularities, while others displayed unusual metal compositions, faint or missing inscriptions, or reverse details that deviated subtly from the standard design. In extremely rare cases, experimental planchets or transitional dies may have been used, creating coins that technically should not exist. These anomalies are the holy grail for collectors, and when authenticated, their value can skyrocket beyond imagination. Collectors who specialize in modern British coinage know that rarity does not always mean low mintage. Sometimes it means survival. Coins that escape circulation in pristine condition, untouched by wear, scratches, or corrosion, are exceptionally hard to find. A 2002 pence coin preserved in flawless mint state, especially one with a verified minting error, becomes a once-in-a-generation discovery. As word of these rare specimens began to circulate within elite collecting circles, demand surged. Auction houses reported intense bidding wars, with collectors and investors competing fiercely for ownership. Each appearance of a rare 2002 pence coin on the market sparked renewed interest, pushing values higher and higher. What was once pocket change became a symbol of modern numismatic prestige. Another factor fueling the coin's rising status is the global fascination with Queen Elizabeth II herself. Her reign, the longest in British history, transformed her image into a worldwide icon. Coins bearing her portrait are collected not only for their rarity but for their connection to a monarch who defined an era. The 2002 issue, tied directly to her Golden Jubilee period, holds especially powerful emotional and historical appeal. Stories began to emerge of ordinary people discovering extraordinary coins. A forgotten jar, an old purse, a childhood collection revisited years later, these moments capture the imagination of the public. The idea that something so valuable could be hiding in plain sight adds a sense of mystery and excitement that few collectibles can match. It is this sense of possibility that keeps collectors searching and viewers watching. Authentication plays a crucial role in determining value. Only coins verified by reputable grading services, examined under magnification, weighed, measured, and analyzed for metal composition, can achieve the highest valuations. When a 2002 pence coin passes these rigorous tests and is confirmed as a rare variant in exceptional condition, it enters an entirely different category of worth. Top 3. we uncover the fascinating journey of the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 2 pence coin from the year 2005, a coin that proves once again that extraordinary treasures can hide in plain sight. The year 2005 was a time of transformation and reflection in the United Kingdom. The country stood firmly in the modern era, yet it continued to honor traditions that stretched back centuries. Queen Elizabeth I was well into her historic reign, one that would become the longest in British history. Her portrait had appeared on British coins for decades, evolving subtly over time, marking the passing of eras and generations. The 2 pence coin of 2005 was not just currency, it was a symbol of continuity, stability, and national identity. As this coin entered circulation, millions of people used it daily without giving it a second thought. It bought small items, rested at the bottom of wallets, and often ended its journey forgotten in drawers. Yet behind its everyday appearance lies a deeper story that collectors around the world would later come to admire. Ultra-rare coins history exists to tell these hidden stories, and this coin's tale is one of the most compelling. The Elizabeth II 2 pence 2005 coin features the mature portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait shows the Queen with dignity and realism, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. Every detail of her expression reflects experience, responsibility, and the weight of history. This was not the youthful monarch seen on earlier coins, but a seasoned queen who had guided her nation through decades of change. On the reverse side, the iconic Prince of Wales feathers stand proudly, crowned and elegant, with the traditional motto subtly integrated into the design. This symbol has represented the heir to the throne for centuries, connecting modern Britain with medieval royal traditions. The design is clean, balanced, and powerful in its simplicity, making it instantly recognizable while carrying immense symbolic weight. The coin was struck in copper-plated steel, a material choice reflecting both durability and economic efficiency. Measuring just over 25 millimeters in diameter, it feels solid yet lightweight in the hand. Its reddish-brown surface gleams when preserved well, though many examples in circulation quickly lost their shine due to everyday use. Yet it is precisely within this massive circulation that rare and extraordinary examples emerged. In 2005, the Royal Mint produced a large number of 2 pence coins, but as with many mass-produced items, perfection was not always guaranteed. Variations occurred, subtle differences appeared, and a small number of coins left the mint with characteristics that would later define their rarity. Collectors began noticing unusual details, alignment anomalies, striking inconsistencies, and extremely limited proof quality examples that were never intended for general circulation. Over time, rumors spread through collector communities. Stories of a 2005 2 pence coin with exceptional strike quality, flawless surfaces, and unique mint characteristics began to circulate. Some examples were found with astonishing preservation, as if time itself had chosen not to touch them. Others displayed rare minting traits that set them apart from standard issues. These coins were not common finds, and discovering one became a dream for collectors. Ultra-rare coins history has followed these stories closely, documenting how interest in the 2005 2 pence coin quietly grew. While the public focused on gold and silver rarities, seasoned collectors knew that modern coins with unique attributes could become legends. Auctions began featuring exceptional 2005 2 pence examples, each one driving prices higher than expected. What once sold for pennies now commanded serious attention. Collectors value more than metal, they value stories, context, and rarity. The Elizabeth II 2 pence 2005 coin represents a specific moment in British history, a snapshot of a nation under a monarch who defined an era. Coins from this period carry emotional weight, especially following the Queen's passing years later, which caused renewed interest in her coinage worldwide. The demand surged not only in the United Kingdom but internationally. American collectors, European numismatists, and Asian investors all sought modern British coins with proven rarity. The 2005 2 pence stood out due to its balance of modern accessibility and hidden exclusivity. Unlike ancient coins locked behind museum glass, this was a coin people might still find in old collections, inherited jars, or forgotten mint sets. As years passed, authentication reports confirmed that a tiny number of these coins possessed extraordinary qualities. Proof-like strikes with mirror-smooth fields, razor-sharp details, and perfect weight measurements placed them in a category of their own. Certified examples received top grading scores, placing them among the finest known specimens in the world. Ultra-rare coins history has spoken before about how condition can transform value, and this coin is a perfect example. A standard circulated 2005 to Pence remains worth only face value, but an ultra-rare, flawless specimen becomes something else entirely. It becomes a symbol of perfection, scarcity, and historical importance combined. Collectors often describe the thrill of holding such a coin as indescribable. Knowing that millions were produced, yet only a handful meet the strictest criteria, creates a sense of destiny. Each confirmed ultra-rare example carries a story of chance, preservation, and discovery. Some were saved unknowingly, others carefully protected by collectors who sensed their future importance. The market responded dramatically. Private sales reached astonishing figures, and whispers of record-breaking valuations began circulating within elite collector circles. As demand increased and supply remained nearly non-existent, prices climbed steadily. Investors recognized the long-term potential, while historians valued the coin's place in the Queen's later reign. This is what makes the Elizabeth II Pence 2005 coin so extraordinary. It challenges the idea that only ancient or precious metal coins can be valuable. It reminds us that modern history is just as important, and that rarity can exist even among everyday objects. Ultra-rare coins history is dedicated to revealing these truths one coin at a time.